In general, people are a little bit skeptical of when other outsiders come into the community with cameras. That's because we've been treated very unfairly in the past.
I think if this was in Manhattan, there'd be a line down the block probably for something like this, something unique like this, right?
Throughout history, we've been thrown out of so many different countries, and sometimes you just have to grab your stuff, or sometimes you don't even have time to grab your stuff.
Just go for it, man. Go.
Then do it.
There we go.
There is evil in the world, but as a general rule, I find most people just want to pay their bills, enjoy life.
About to go to a kosher bakery to eat the most famous dessert for Purim.
It's like, yeah, it's a Jewish holiday. I guess you call it a dessert. It's like a cookie filled with jam or jelly. They call them Hamentashen. In Yiddish, that means Haman's pockets. Haman is the evil guy in the Purim story, and according to legend, either he had ears that looked like triangles, or his pockets were triangles, or he wore a hat that was, who knows?
The best guy.
But from what I understand, Chaim's a little bit of a pioneer because he makes Hamentashen that aren't so traditional. He combined a classic donut with Hamentashen, and I am looking forward to trying it. What about you?
That sounds incredible. It sounds a little different. I want to see. I think if this was in Manhattan, there'd be a line down the block probably for something like this, something unique like this, right?
And I hope after this video there will be lines down the block.
I hope so too. Trick is you got to get to the custard in the middle. I'm working towards that goal right now.
Everything in New York City is special.
Really good. So I live in Park Slope, not too far from here, and the joke over there is there are strollers everywhere. I think Borough Park's got Park Slope way beat on the stroller count. How big are the typical families here?
Again, there's no one size fits all, but I'd say the majority of families have somewhere between 4 and 9 children.
And how big is the family dynamic to this community?
Family is everything. It's not everybody on the street who you see is family. We're literally related because we're all Jewish and we all come from the same place. And it's just there's also a dynamic of not just being literally related, but we're also related because it's a very tight-knit community. So it's really just one big family.
And a lot of things here are kept in the community. Let's say you have your own schools, you have your own ambulances.
The community is very good at making sure that everything that is needed here is here. So if any other service anywhere else is lacking, if let's say if the city ambulance service would take 7 minutes to arrive to a call or 10 minutes, you'll have the volunteers here arrive to calls in 120 seconds because a life is the most valuable thing that there is. So we have to be very careful to make sure to preserve that. So really, anything that the community needs, they make sure that it's available, and that way life can run, the way it needs to.
So before you get in your car, Ben, our camera guy, actually just asked a good question. Why does everybody here have flip phones?
That is a great question. I'm glad you asked. So it's not that everybody has flip phones, but there are a lot of people who have flip phones in general in the society outside of the Hasidic community and the Orthodox communities. You're not going to see many flip phones yet left around. Maybe some hipsters have them, but as a general rule,
they could be cool, yeah.
Yeah, they could be cool, but as a general rule, they're not around anymore. The reason people here have them is because people here generally try to be more, again, this is a word that I shouldn't use, insular. So we're basically trying to keep some elements of the outside world out, because obviously, America's a free country. A free country comes with a lot of benefits, but also comes with the fact that basically anybody can do whatever they want at any time, which is fine. But when you're raising children and you want them to grow up in a certain way and you want them to live in a certain way, you don't always want them to be exposed to everything that's out there on the street, because I think we can all agree that some things on the street are certainly not appropriate for children or for adults for that matter.
Normally when I film around New York, people don't even blink an eye at me. I just have a camera. But here, I'm seeing people left and right taking photos of us. What's going on with that?
So it's just people are curious.
Okay.
People probably understand that if we're here doing this together, something's about to happen, so something's about to drop.
Okay.
So people will take pictures, send it around in the community chats, letting people know that something's about to happen. There's going to be a video soon, or whatever. As a general rule, people are a little bit skeptical of when other outsiders come into the community with cameras, that's because we've been treated very unfairly in the past.
Okay.
And so when the media comes, and again, I know you're not the media, you're just a YouTuber. In general, when cameras come into the community, very often there's already a predetermined narrative of what the people who are bringing the cameras want to portray, and that's why the community is a little bit skeptical, but it's fine. We're not doing anything wrong. I think things have gone very well. Everybody's been very friendly. And
I was telling Ben off camera that the owners here may have been some of the friendliest I've ever met in New York City, just to show off their business and being generous and giving us stuff. I've absolutely been blown away by that so far being here.
So charity, and this is not charity, but kindness, giving, being friendly, it's all part of the tradition.
Yeah.
And when you're here and you're not seen as a threat, you're automatically welcome as family. So you can come back here anytime. People are going to be just as friendly. It's, I would say it's very much a part of life here, the friendliness, the kindness, the closeness. They're taking pictures of us all.
I don't think I've had this many people take my photo in 5 minutes ever.
A lot of people do. I don't know if you know this interesting fact. One of the biggest zip codes for Amazon sellers is right here.
I did not know that.
And Amazon actually knows that a very large percentage of the people, the big sellers on Amazon, are Hasidic Jews.
So that's ordering product from China and reselling it on Amazon.
Yeah, or making people have their own brands. There's a lot going on. One of the things about Orthodox Jewish people and Jewish people in general, I would say, is that they adapt very quickly and they're very innovative. See, throughout history, we've been thrown out of so many different countries, and sometimes you just have to grab your stuff, or sometimes you don't even have time to grab your stuff, and you're out of the country and you have to go on a boat somewhere. Or, throughout history, this has happened so many times. So the Jewish people have sort of learned how to adapt very quickly and figure out how to make a buck so that they can survive.
You said that a lot of the Hasidic people here have flip phones. What is the attitude about social media as far as watching this video on YouTube, as far as, tweeting out that me and you are filming, things like that?
There are certain general rules which are expected of people in the community, especially people who send their children to schools in the community. So almost nobody has televisions here. Internet is more of a gray area because it's pretty much needed right now in this day and age. To live a normal life, you generally have to be connected to the internet in some way, shape, or form. So that's more common. A lot of families, as I mentioned, try to keep it out of the home. And especially social media is also a bit of a gray area because many people feel that if you need to use internet for work, that's fine, but don't go, scrolling on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube all day. That could just be a big time waster. So as we speak, there are photos of us flying around the Hasidic WhatsApp chats, and I'm sure when I check my phone later, I'm going to be seeing them all.
So we're the most famous two people right now in Boro Park.
At the moment, we are, yeah.
You guys know how much I love... Broke my concentration for a second. Okay, ready? You guys know how much I love deli sandwiches. We've been to all the famous ones in Manhattan, Katz's, Sarge's, but I've never shown you guys a kosher deli. This is going to be a little different, right?
Definitely will be different. I've never eaten non-kosher, so I don't know what you've eaten,
okay,
but this should be different for you. What's interesting is the place is called Hadar Geulah. Been here in Boro Park for many years. They added the word grill into the name recently, and that is, again, I didn't ask them about this, but this is my feeling. Lately, in the past couple of years, Hasidic Jews have gotten really into beef. They've become like carnivores. We've always loved beef, but in the last few years, it's become a real big thing. People, every week for Shabbat, people order these gigantic beef platters. So you'll see inside, you're going to see like a lot of beef.
Let's do it, let's go. Mexican schmaltz, we're mixing cultures here.
Mexican schmaltz herring, jalapeno Matias herring. See?
Okay.
What did I say about beef?
You said there was a lot of it. Yeah. And oh wow, this is nice. I'm getting hungry. What would be the key difference between the meat here and the meat at Katz's?
It needs to be very clean. It needs to be, there's a whole salting process. It's a very laborious thing to do.
Okay, it could probably be worth its own video someday.
Oh yeah. A little special something over here. This is a platter. That
Did you say a little special something? Like a big special something?
Yeah, we know we do this all the time.
Are you expecting me to eat all this today?
To eat it, take it home, give it to your friends, do what you want. So let me explain to you real quick. Alright, so we've got tongue over here, corned beef. This is more of a kielbasa situation, salami. That's a smoked brisket.
What I was saying was I would love to try that here because that's like something I've tried in all the other delis in New York. I want to see it right here, yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Let's try it.
Pastrami sandwich.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know what you haven't stuffed inside of this thing, but if this was in my neighborhood, I'd probably come back maybe once a week for this. I don't know. This is ridiculously stuffed. I'm gonna take one big bite. I don't know all the ingredients that are inside of this, outside of the pastrami and some of the veggies, but it just works perfectly. I even like the bread a lot too.
Yeah, like we said, we get everything, we make it fresh.
Now, I know that you've never eaten non-kosher meat before. As somebody that has plenty of times, I will say that the taste of this to me, it's a lot simpler, and if I could use a word, it feels a lot more natural to me.
Yeah, like I said, we don't usually use that word, but like you said, it is more organic because we are restricted by our Kašnar laws, which makes it's very stringent that we have like a regimen you have to go over to, like there's somebody who's watching how everything has to be clean. There's no messing around, you can't just like take any shortcuts.
Something that you kept saying that when people come to Boro Park who aren't from here, the first thing they're going to notice about you is how you dress and how you look.
Yeah.
Could you describe to everybody out there exactly what your traditional Hasidic person would look like as far as their dress and their hair and everything else?
So I wouldn't say there's a specific traditional Hasidic look because there are so many different sects.
Okay.
So you could end up with many different looks.
We are both Hasidic.
See, so he's got one look,
Right.
I've got another look. As a general rule, Hasidic Jews will stick to a certain kind of dress. It usually is black and white. Many of them wear long suits like I do. Some wear short suits. Most of them have hats. Most of them have beards. Most of them have some sort of payas, long, short. Even what you have is considered, like that would, according to the Jewish law, that would be okay for payas.
This would be okay.
Yes.
The sideburns.
Yeah, the sideburns. So that you're good there.
I'm good.
So there is a traditional look, but there are also many different looks within the Hasidic look because there are so many different sects.
I feel like you break barriers wherever you go, and as a Hasidic Jew, you make videos in the Middle East, meeting all sorts of different types of people, and I feel like you break a lot of stereotypes.
Yeah, so one of my goals, and I feel it's become like a holy mission in life, is to break stereotypes everywhere, to build bridges, to create bonds, because I believe, as I mentioned earlier, that this is going to create a better world where we can get along, and if there's peace, then there's a lot of other good stuff. All I've seen in return is just love and friendship, and I think it's a beautiful world full of good people, and if we work together, we can really make the world a better place.
That's really strong, guys. You need to check his channel out, seriously. Got some very profound content there.
Ben's about to eat the impossible Sunny Burger.
God. Not impossible. It's meat.
When you say impossible, it implies that it's vegan? Absolutely not vegan. Very carnivorous.
Vegan people, there's nothing vegan about this burger.
Yep.
Impossible to eat in one bite without making a complete mess, I meant.
There you go. That's more like the
But
impossible.
good point, okay.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Just go for it, man. Go.
Then do it.
There we go. I always get so much enjoyment of people eating this for the first time. I have this like every week. It's good. It's good, right? It's so good.
Shlomi, after watching this video, I feel like a lot of people are going to want to visit some of these spots. What would you tell them?
Definitely should check it out. We have amazing people, amazing food, amazing communities, and you're going to have an amazing time.
Shlomi, thank you so much for being an absolutely fantastic ambassador to this community, for Boro Park, and I just felt the love from beginning to end here. So guys, definitely come by Boro Park if you're interested. Support these local businesses. We had an amazing time, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much. Take care.